Hello, I hope you are well. Sorry, I'm going to use my Finnabair mold. I love this mold. I love it. It's full of little bottles, and I don't know if you can see, some have engraved labels, some have nothing. There are several sizes. These bottles are amazing. I love this mold. Okay, let's get started. First, I'm going to put some chameleon powder in some of the bottles, and then you'll see what we do with them. Crossing my fingers that everything go right. So, here we go with the chameleon powders. I'm going to speed up the video, don't worry. I'm not going to show you my whole process of applying chameleon powders because it still takes time if you want to do things right. So, I just show you a few. Nothing complicated. I apply the powder. I apply the powder well to the sides and the bottom. You have to be careful. I'm going to turn my mold upside down to get a good look. So I speed things up and see you soon as everything is done. My little bottles are ready. You see, I'm going to turn the mold right side up. So I made the little caps, I think you can see, with a bit of gold powder. I left a couple of bottles without anything. So now it's time to pour the resin. I prepared it a little in advance so that it could degas. I've still got a few bubbles in it. Well, a little bit of my lighter will help get them out. I'm going to add some black to my resin. I hesitated a bit, but I think I'll go with the classic way. With chameleon powder, I think black really goes best. So, I'm going to mix my pigment. It's an epoxy resin paste from Just For You Online UK. I have had it for a while, but it keeps really well. I use a little bit because it's very pigmented. And I mix well to make sure there's no filament left or anything. I don't mix that fast. And now I'm going to pour in this little cup. It will be easier. And then all I have to do is pour into my little bottles, trying not to make too many mistakes. And I'm going to go very slowly because I know myself, so you really have to control the movement. And I've pretty much controlled it this time. Let's say not too badly. I'm really happy. I didn't overdo it too much. And I'm going to speed things up, and then I'm not going to inflict the entire filling of my little bottles on you. It's a bit meticulous because it's narrow. That's it. But some of them seem a little too full. So I ask myself, what do I do? Do I leave them as they are, since there will be a little shrinkage? But I prefer to remove the excess resin anyway. I did it with these little pipettes. It's too practical, yes. And that's it. It looks good. And I'm going to put all this to dry. After also using my micro brush to remove any bubbles on the side. And I'll put it all to dry and we'll see what we do with it. You'll see right away what we are going to do with these pretty little bottles. Stay tuned. I'm back in a second. Now everything is dry. We're going to unmold. Not going to inflict the whole demolding process on you either. I'll just show you a few at full speed. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love it. Oh my gosh. Oh, these chameleon powders are really great. And these little bottles, I love them. Oh, yes, it's too beautiful. I speed things up a bit and give you a close-up once everything is unmolded. Et voila! It's so nice. Love it, love it, love it. I love this mold. I'll give you a close-up. Oops. It's shaking a bit, excuse me. But you can see a little better. And I'm going to move my little bottles a little so you can see them better. It's so cute. Oh, yes, 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 really nice. I'm so happy. And everything came out fine. I don't have any bubbles. Nothing at all. I'm so happy because I wasn't confident. For once, everything's fine. Yes. Oh, sorry, I'm very happy. Now I'm going to try to wake some of them up, if I may say so, to give them a little pep. Every thought they are very pretty as they are. I'm going to wax them. Well, my wax is very old. And it's very dry. Very, very dry indeed. I'll have to renew. I wet my sponge a little and then I go over my wax. It just gives a little shine, but not too much. Yes, it doesn't stand out too much. It's a bit old-fashioned, if I may say so. Oh, I'm so happy that I bought this mold. It's so pretty. So I'm going to put wax on some bottles. I'm going to put some on some of them, the ones I did all in black. I'm going to put some on the ones with labels. You've seen that I've also done the cap with gold powder. I don't remember if I told you. Oh yes, it's so pretty. Just love them. Oh, not a good focus. Here I go a little bit everywhere, wherever I want, on the labels and on the little lines there. Oh yes, really gives a great effect. Well, I'm going to keep on waxing. I don't particularly apply the wax. I dab it on a few specific spots, but I don't go into any great details. Really, no, not. But the shapes of this bottle, they are too beautiful. Oh yes, love them a lot. I have always loved this mold. And here is a little close-up. So pretty. You can see with the little golden wax, it wakes up the color a little. Even if the chameleons are nice, they have already got some sparkle. But with just a little wax, very little indeed, it wakes them up. For example, I left the black bottle there untouched. Oh yes, it's really, really beautiful. That looks very old. And this is my favorite. It's the shape I prefer, I think. As I was saying, it's the shape of an antique perfume bottle. Just love it. And this one is smaller. And with the golden cap, I think it's really pretty. It brightens things up a bit. Oh yes. So now I'm going to move on to the next thing. I took advantage of my black resin to fill some little pendant molds, and now I'm going to put my little bottles in them, hoping they'll fit nicely without sticking out too much. So let's see. For this one, is it okay or not? Yes, they seem to fit. So I put the bottles in a completely random way, of course. Let's see here. Yes, that's fine too. And I'm going to continue positioning them. I cut the video. Okay, that's it. I'm done. In the little cavities, I added little things. I added little gears, but they are really tiny. They're so cute. Love them. And I've also got a little bottle here that's left over. No problem. But I feel I'm going to have to make a dome because I think it's going to stick out. Now I prepare my resin and keep my fingers crossed because I don't want them to go back up, if I may say so. Everything is ready. I also added little leaves, little glitters in the shape of holographic leaves. I thought it needed a little bit something extra. So now that everything's in place, let's pour the resin. And let's hope everything stays where it's supposed to, so it doesn't stick up too much. Well, first we are going to pour the resin, trying not to make a mess. But that's not easy. I can already see that I'll have to put a dome of resin on top. Maybe not on all of them, but on some, yes, that's clear. Yes. And I push with my tweezers. It's already pushing up the air bubbles trapped under my little bottles and leaves. So I push with my tweezers. Another one. Oops! I went a bit too fast. It overflowed. But anyway, I'll have to do a dome next. We might have one or two who could escape it, but I'm not sure. But anyway, it's so pretty. Oh yes, I really like them. Well, I'm going to do my little finishing touches and put it all to dry and see you for the unmolding. Now we're going to unmold. Well, I've got quite a few that stand out. So I don't know if I leave them like that. It has its own charm. Or dome them. But for some, I'm going to have to make a hell of a dome. I don't know yet. Anyway, at the end of the video, I'll show you how they look once I've domed and put them on a necklace, chain or whatever. Well, let's get started. Oh, it's so cool. Really love it. It's nice. Very pretty. Really like it. Ooh. And then I don't have a bubble. That's great. I was afraid I'd get bubbles. So you can make a little pendant out of it. You can make a keychain, that sort of things. All come out great. I think I put a little too much resin on the bottom. I should have used a thinner layer. But I'm really pleased with the result. And still no bubbles. No bubbles. I'll give you a close-up before I fix them. It's so pretty. You see that I put the resin to dry on the grid of my curing machine, but I didn't turn it on because I thought I might get bubbles that wouldn't have time to rise to the surface, so I just used it to shelter them. And I came to see several times to avoid bubbles. I removed 2 out of 3, but not many. So nice. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Love them. Really like them. It's pretty. And I think it's quite original. I'm happy. Okay. Be right back in a second. You see what I made with all these cute pendants. Here I have domed them. I have mounted them on necklace. I screwed up one of them because my drill slipped. I had little holes that had been filled with resin. I used UV resin for the domes. And there's a little hole, so I damaged it. So, see if it looks good. I'm so pleased with myself. Let me know what you think. Anyway, it's very nice. Hola. I'm going to have to clean them because they've got fingerprints on them from handing them so much. Well, I've cut a lot out of this video because it was over 1 hour long, but nothing extraordinary. What I removed, I domed with UV resin. I did 2 or 3 coats for some, and that's all I did. Well, you have understood that I'm happy. I'm delighted with the result. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. I'll be back for new adventures very soon. So, take good care of you. And now I can tell you bye.